I go too far into any color or anything, because there's some pieces I've worked on where the line art wasn't quite solid, and you go into the color and just making corrections afterwards is kind of a pain. What? Sorry guys, I've lost Behance. Hang on a sec. What is going on? Should be streaming. What's going on? Hi everyone. Sorry. Behance, something cut me off. This is weird. I've never had these problems with these before. What's going on? Is Facebook still going? No. All of my stuff cut off. Okay, hang on guys. I'll get you all back. Hang on. I just want to do a live stream while I'm on the thing. There we go. Okay. That's running. Turn that off. Good Lord. All right. Sorry guys. Everybody got lost for a second. Okay. Facebook is good. What's happening? Okay, there we go. Where did my... What the heck? People came to see art, not watch me fiddle with computers. Okay. We might be back up and running here. Good gravy. Okay, we'll see how this goes. So as I was mentioning, I like to make sure the line art is pretty solid. So I will spend quite a bit of time doing the line art stage of things. Just because I want to make sure that the balance is right and I have enough room for the patterns to come through. And all that fun stuff. Thanks for resending that link, Bushan. I lost it when my Behance feed cut out. Like this maybe. Cool. So this is going to be fun to work this through, because I think on Monday for my regular stream, we're going to get into some of the color, which will be fun. So those of you who are kind of newer to my stream, I regularly stream on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern on all these same places. And I'm hoping, because I'm on holidays on Monday, I'm hoping to do a 2-hour stream starting at 6 p.m. this time. And assuming all my tech is working, because this seems like it might be a little frustrating for people. Sean's here. Hey Sean, how's it going? We also have, Jaswant as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Couple technical difficulties. Booted everybody out a second ago, so hopefully we don't get booted this time. So we're just working through the line art here. Once I'm done this little bit of stained glass development, I will show you the rest of the card. Because I haven't named it, so it's not very helpful to have an untitled file name. It's just been a day, guys. It's just been a day. But these are all our lovely broken pieces for our stained glass build and style. Trying not to be too uniform or boring. I do find kind of like long, thinner spaces like this are tougher to fill without being rhythmic. Like it gets that kind of braided look almost no matter how I approach it. I know like when I do a Zentangle piece, I find the same thing. If I get into a small, thin section, it's harder to work with. So just gotta take an extra second before you throw those lines down to make sure we're all good. Just a little more, and there's a couple overlaps and lines that I'm definitely going to be cleaning up and such, but it's not really fun to watch me erase tiny line nubs. Oops, nope, not what I wanted at all. I didn't snap that one, sorry. I really want these to be a nice, clean, crisp line. So I've been doing my stained glass style like this with these straight lines in the middle, filling up the gaps in the spaces. And I saw a stained glass something the other day, and it was like swirly lines instead of the straight ones. I was like, no, I've been doing it wrong. But like, I think my style still works, but I also don't, this is not the time to be switching up my style. So maybe a print or something later will come out and I'll try that swirly line. But we're 5 cards into a tarot deck here, and my main concern of getting started was switching my style 2 minutes in, and that's what I would be doing. What is going on? There we go. Okay, so these are our Snake Charmers is the deck that we're doing here. Is the card of the deck that we're doing here. It is the 8 of Coins, or in this case 8 of Circus, and that this is going to be our 5th card in the deck. I have a work in progress with the 4th one, but this one I really wanted to kind of go through my sketching process and my everything to show everybody how I do it. Now I was going to hide away the snake lines, but I think I need to keep them because I see some potential tangents that I'd like to avoid. So we'll do their own layer, and we're going to go back to our 3 points because there's a hierarchy that I have to the lines. So let's get going on those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide away the snake sketch lines is what I do, which might make things a little easier to see. Those lines are unfortunately on the other layer. Okay. So this is my clear layer. Excellent. Perfect. Oh, turning it off is just not going to help at all. Okay, let's do this. So maybe what I'll do is I'll hide ease away. I just want this to be as simple as possible and not really hard on everybody's eyeballs. Okay. Spin a bit here, try not to make everybody sick. Now I don't get too worried about the actual edges of the pieces, like how the art ends here, because my vision for the border is that we would have the border's going to sit on top, because I'm also trying to present kind of a paper layering as well while we're doing this stained glass. There's a paper layering level that I want to portray. So I'm just going to show you the last card that we finished. So you can see there's these dark shadows with different layers here. So we've got the stained glass, but then I want it kind of like almost like a piece of paper, and then have all these big harsh shadows to convey that. My goal is that the border will kind of be sitting on top, air quotes, of the card itself. So it will also have like a big dark shadow around that edge, giving that look. So that's why I'm not too fussy right now about the edges and how they're going to come through. Which is nice, because I always find it's hard. Like if you go back into some of my portfolio, some of my pieces are very, there's a very harsh white background, because I just kind of have a hard time mentally figuring out how to like finish a piece and how to wrap it up and kind of make the background look good. So that's just something that, so that's my solution to that, is to just not put one. But here we need the backgrounds. So rather than getting worked up about how to finish the edges and all that kind of fun stuff, the border is going to help me there for sure. Your design's very nice, thank you, and your creativity. Thank you very much. It's I've had a lot of growth in my style in the past couple years, and I'm having a lot of fun figuring it out. It's been a busy time for sure. Now, when we were working on Monday on these guys, I struggled a little bit with the costuming because I didn't want to go wicked traditional or assume any kind of like cultural things. And if you go back to the streams where I did the fortune teller, you can see she's not very stereotypical in her fortune teller approach. For a few reasons. One, the character that inspired that, I wouldn't see wearing kind of that style of clothing. And then I just thought a different approach would be kind of cool. just switch it up a little bit. So I kind of wanted to continue that here, but I also didn't want to like completely reinvent the wheel either. So we had some struggles trying to figure out how we were going to approach this styling and the costuming and everything. Because I also kind of wanted it to be, for no reason really, kind of a gender neutral. Like we don't know what the characters are, because the whole point is the snakes. They're the attention drawers. So they're kind of supporting here. And I've decided for this deck to not include faces if I can help it. So that's where this kind of like solution came from. I'm trying to convey more the mood or energy as opposed to the like getting too involved in the faces, or oh, that's not how that character would look, and all that kind of fun stuff. And there's also some characters that will be visible on different cards, and character design just isn't my strength. So I would get really hung up on that one character, not like do they look the same? Is it the right person? Is it like, who is that? And it would slow me down, because like that kind of roadblock will hold me up. Like the style for me was definitely something that held me up for a long time. I've had this tarot deck in my back pocket for about 10 years. But finally the styling, now I'm just kind of off to the races. So keeping the faces out of it was helpful for that, because I just didn't want to get too hung up on details and things. We have Lisa in the chat. Hi Lisa, thanks for tuning in today. So glad everybody's here. So glad I can stream during the day. It's nice. Catch some people who aren't able to catch my Monday night streams due to time zone conflicts. Okay. Yes, really difficult with face expressions. Yeah. So it can be a lot to kind of worry about. And kind of, if you've read The Night Circus, which is what this is inspired by, again, I'm not doing fan art. I'm not trying to steal any ideas. It's my main inspiration. The whole appeal of the book for me is the mood anyway. So I really kind of want to be conveying that as much as I possibly can. So Lisa said she always manages to just miss Sean's lives, and I think it's when I prepare lunch. And I was going to comment, Sean, I think I caught like a few minutes of one of your streams earlier this week, and but it's like the universe knew. Like I was logged on and to watch, and I was there, and then like 10 people came to my desk, and I was like, oh, I should probably do my work. So I'm sorry I didn't even have a chance to say hi on the stream, but Sean says lunch is more important. So, oh, and a daughter, in fact, too. Yeah, that's kids will always pick lunch. But yeah, I've been trying to catch some more streams throughout the days and make sure to catch them, because I know, again, the time zone thing is a challenge for some people. So I try and catch as many as I can, and I'll try and comment a little faster before people come to my desk. That's working for a living, I tell you. Sheesh. Okay, now where are we at? was watching the one you were doing with the parrot and talking, and that software I've never used before, and so it was like watching witchcraft. I was just like jaw open on the floor. What is he doing? Magic. Amazing. Yeah, well, I'm glad you were able to catch it. An Adobe meeting in a few minutes. Chance to catch yours. That's amazing. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad people are able to grab it. I'm losing some work from home flexibility soon, so I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm going to find a way because it's nice to see other people. The Godfeather, yes, so funny. So great to see all the features, and I think you were doing like kind of the rigging, and that's probably the wrong word, to get him to move and react, and it was just like magic. I've never seen it before. Okay, what did I do over here? Okay. "21 streams, my goodness. Yikes. This one's going to be a fair amount. There's going to be lots of tarot streams. Well, as many as people are interested in watching, I guess. You have Ayet in the chat. Hi, Ayet. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Oh, we've got a few lines I'm missing here. Let's get those in, and then we'll... Oh yeah, I haven't even done this person's legs or anything yet. Goodness me. So we'll get these laid out. Film was on YouTube now. Cool, that's awesome. I'll definitely go check it out. Looks a bit like a girl with a pearl earring. Yeah, definitely. That's thank you. That definitely comes through. I knew they looked familiar, so thank you. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle because I wasn't sure what kind of headpieces to do. And usually, like when I'm trying to build something like this, I come in with... I don't want to come in with a too harsh of an idea or too solid of an idea, because I want the piece to do its thing and kind of grow in its own way. But I hadn't gotten to the costuming yet, and we definitely had a couple struggle minutes working through them to kind of not appropriate and not make other decisions. So it was it was a bit of a fun workout. So I think it's up on YouTube right now. The Behance stream continued to buffer, so it was I'm working with Behance to try and figure that out. We have Alessandra in the chat. Hello. I didn't know I was streaming today either. I was doing some banking and doing some adulting, and I'm on vacation today. I thought, you know what? I want to hang out with some people on a live stream first. Okay, so we definitely need to... I wasn't sure if we had to complete these lines or not, but we definitely do. That gap looked really small, really empty. I'm having some Behance stream issues. I'm having some buffering problems. But then on my some of the live streams, they're kind of like, your video is still processing on a few, which I hope it goes through. But if you want to check last week's stream, you can check out my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. I think they're all linked in the chat below, because it was a lot of fun to work through last week, because we were kind of, I started from scratch was the idea there. And I wanted to make sure that I had sorry, we were working through a lot of things and I wanted to make sure that I have it still because it was a lot of fun to show the whole process. Buffer problems. Okay, so those of you who are on Behance, so it's like stopping and buffering quite a bit, like it's a stop and start. Is it annoying to watch? You can be honest because I will figure it out. Because that just started last week, I noticed too, so I have to figure out what's going on there. I need an IT person. I need two of me is what I need, to be honest. Okay, I think we're pretty close there, which is great. So I'm gonna put in, oops, not what I wanted. I'm gonna go to get some of our stained glass layers here. So let's put our snake ones back on. This will clear up, I promise, because there's a third hierarchy line that I put on that's even thicker around the edges, so the snakes will pop out from the lines. There's a couple of these I don't see. This is the tangent thing I was talking about. I want to avoid this. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is we're going to clear out that line. Usually I do the stained glass lines after I've done all of the main lines. I just didn't want it to be boring for those of you who are watching to just watch me trace my own sketches for a while. So usually this isn't a cleanup I would normally do because all these lines are in place before, oh shoot, like this maybe. These are all in place usually before I get going. And luckily, the point of a tangent is that it creates a view line, so some of them are easier to find. Okay, so we'll go to our empty layer here, make sure, whoops, too much leaking. Okay, we're going to put in our stained glass lines here. Oops, come on, switch to the thing. All right. So I have, for those of you who haven't seen the other tarot deck cards, there's kind of two stained glass styles that I've incorporated in because I didn't think, I thought because it's going to be at a smaller size when it's ultimately presented, that it would be really busy to have every section be broken up into this glass bit. So there's some that are kind of represented as, oops, what's on that layer? Go figure. That are kind of this broken down section. But then others that are going to be kind of like what would be like bigger cut pieces, which is how like the faces and the bellies of the snake are going to be. And then I just kind of stylize them a little differently so that I don't, so they still get that same kind of treatment, but they're going to be, oops. It won't be too busy with all these lines all over the place. I was a little bit more selective in this style, whereas like the dragon, the kraken, a lot more of those had the full lines in them to make sure that that full stained glass approach came across. I just thought it was going to be a little too busy for this project to take that approach because they're such a smaller canvas in comparison. All right, a few more lines. Right. So I think these fabrics are going to be the main goal. Oops. A few lines need to be cleaned up in here for sure. I'll spend some of my weekend working through that. How's that? Here we go. All right, and then one more here. Switch, please. Thank you. Okay, almost done, almost done. This part of the line art. Oops. Okay, let's zoom out and see what we've got here. All right. Okay. So my next step will be throwing in the next hierarchy line. It's just a thicker line that's going to go around the snakes and then each individual snake charmer so that they pop out a little bit more. And then we're going to start throwing on some color. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to clean up some of the lines that are here, throw in the hierarchy for myself. But I think this is a great setup for those of you who are able to come and join me on Monday because we're going to get to color the snakes and we're going to color the charmers as well. For those of you who missed the start of the stream, I did do an example of this where the snake charmers were sitting back to back, and the polling and everything online was very 50-50 as to which one they liked. Face to face ended up polling ahead in the end, but I'm going to I will eventually do the back to back as well, because I also had thought that there's some pretty cool elements to that as well. So I'm going to try, and where I'm going with that long rant is I'm going to be kind of playing with my layers a little differently, I think, so that I can kind of clear out, keep the snakes ready to go, and I can easily do the snake charmers in the back without altering the snakes. But the snakes in the what I'm going to do is they're going to start in a white and go through to a black. So that it's going to be the first time where I'm going to be trying the paper patterns, but in like a gradient fashion. Going to be really different for me. Not something I've done in the past. Not even tried it, so I don't even know how it will come through. I'm hoping that it will come together really nicely, but it'll be an experiment live on the stream. So if you have any interest in that, please join in. Like I said, I'm going to be on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern this week. So please tune in on all these channels. I'm hoping to fix this buffering issue that we're running into. I'm not living for that. Hopefully we'll have that fixed. So yeah, so I'm going to let everybody get back to their week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have Sean, Lisa, Alessandra. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jeswant and Bushan, thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys coming in. I think we had Stacy was on the other stream that we lost. So thank you so much for tuning in. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, please feel free to join me on Monday for 2 hours. We're going to be working on this. Hopefully we'll get a lot of progress done in that time. Very stoked. I hope you'll have a great long weekend if you have one in your area. If not, have a great weekend anyway. And I will catch you all soon. Have a great night, everybody, or great rest of your day. And I'll see you all soon.